don't you tell us a little bit about the show?
Well, it is, we titled it Painting What I Love, and it's just a lot of things that are around. I paint a lot of cows, and I grew up not loving cows. I grew up ranching, and cows just represent more. Yes, but I knew cows. I knew them, and yeah, so I've been painting them now for several years, and I just really enjoy giving them some expressions and stuff. But lately I've been branching into different animals and just, I don't know, I love painting animals and I love seeing what I can add to them, you know. You drive by them and it just looks like animals with their heads in the dirt, so I love to add a little more. It's just about fun. I hope when people look at my art, they see the joy that I feel.
Well, Sonja, would you like to walk around the gallery? And
You just give us a little tour.
Sure.
painting, so maybe we'll start over there.
All righty, we will do that. All right. Well, let's start with these dogs. This is a different thing for me. Let's see, last fall, we have all kinds of dogs. My husband was just commenting on how they're ruining my black Yukon. When we park underneath the electrical wire. And our next door neighbor has a tree, and these doves would always be in this tree at night, huddled up, and the sun would be going down, and you could just see their silhouettes. And I really thought that was something fun to explore. So I did a few little dove pictures where they were very dark. And of course, then I had to light them up, and this was just very experimental, but I kind of like what happened with it. It was fun. A lot of fun. Let's see. Then, what else? Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness. Thank you. Let's see. You do. I think it's.
Well, tell us about the open brand.
Okay, we have CV here. We've got social distance Dorothy. This was my husband's idea to add a CV brand to her because of the COVID thing. And this was just a very quick oil painting on a textured board. I love painting on a lot of texture. I love painting on boards because I can just get in there and mess with it a lot. I don't have to fight with the canvas. And you get a lot of different layers. I love to start on a pink base and then add and let it peek through in different places. I think this was actually something else before it became this cow, but there's still little bits of pink showing through. Yeah, we added the CV just to represent this time in our existence here. We're doing virtual art shows. I like it though. I really like the texture that I got on this with the dry brushing and the little bits of light coming through.
Sonia, how long does it take you to produce a painting?
It varies. I get really excited, and so I will paint fairly intensely for a long time. But it's usually not longer than a couple of days solid of really going at it, and then I'll let it set for a couple days. But once the paint's dry, I'm no longer interested. So that's why I have to be really intense when I'm painting, because when the paint's dry, I don't have any desire to play around and do this stuff on the dry paint.
So
I like to do it all over again. Yeah, I don't care for acrylic. Exactly. Yeah.
I watched her paint before, not a lot, but sometimes she puts 100 miles on, back and forth.
Yes,
In the studio, walking back and forth, looking at it from a distance.
Yes, and that's what's sad about a virtual show. I always say that my art, it has to be seen in person because you have that dual, you can see it from far away and think, wow, that looks really realistic. And then you get up close and you see that it's just, there's a feather there and that looks like a butterfly. There's just all these abstract shapes kind of pieced together. And that, I like that, I really do. But that's why I have to go back and forth. constantly, back and forth, because you have to make sure it looks good from a distance and then make sure it's really fun up close.
Do you usually know what you're going to start with when you approach a painting, or do you let it develop as you want?
And a little bit of both. I usually don't know what the background's gonna be when I start. I often work from photos though, so I'll have a reference photo that I took, you know, and I'll like some look, or I'll like, with this reference photo, I'm sure I liked the sunlight. No, actually, that's a cloudy day. She did not have sunlight on her back. But that's what I saw, you know, okay, this is gonna be lit up. Everything ends up light in the end. I don't paint cloudy days.
Or Lynette says we need to social distance.
Oh, okay, all right,
No, you two are great.
okay.
Since you're related, it's us that needs
Okay. And then Sonja, let's move from that piece over to this one where the vibrancy
All right.
of color gets very different.
All right. This one is from last year. So this one is probably one of the more recent. I think this is the most recent photo or painting in the show. And this one would be about a year ago. And yeah, it's totally different. And this is reminiscent of what I was doing a few years before that. I don't know, it was like I was going back into what I love. When I got into some good, like, prestigious shows, it kind of hampered my creativity because I started thinking I have to make something that it has to be good. This has to be really good. So, you know, I need to make it really realistic, or, you know, and I think it kind of held me back a little bit, and for a couple of years. And I think my art got a little flat, just trying to be whoever I thought they wanted me to be. And it's like, the reason they wanted me in those shows is because they liked what I was doing then. So this was going back into what I was loving. And I love color. I totally do, especially with longhorns. I mean, they lend themselves well to color. You can make them whatever you want. Yeah, this is Electric Wilhelmina. I believe this was one of Overture's longhorns out past Creek. Yes,
I
not
love the vibrancy and sort of explosion of color you've got in the background.
Yeah,
Really nice.
I really like this. I never
Energy.
really noticed that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's
The energy
some little-
is good.
Definitely. Yeah. She reminded me of something electric. There was just this, I don't know what wall she'd ever go on, but yeah, she's really cool.
Okay, I'm going to cross in front of Sonja here. Come over this way.
All right. And this is probably the lowest price painting in the show.
I'm gonna go too.
I love it.
I like it too. It's nice. It's probably got too much pink for you, Ken, right?
No, that one, the pink doesn't bother me on that.
Okay.
Because they're reading me.
Yes,
It's not a
yes, this
reflection on
is
myself.
Hazel and Rose reading you. And they're just looking right at you, like a dog would look at you and know exactly what you're thinking. I like to add depth to cows, and they do have personalities, you know? And I like to amplify it.
You can see that in this one. I love the two different expressions, although they're somewhat similar, but but like you said, a dog with those eyes. which is
Yeah,
fun.
they just stare at you, yes. And I don't know how that happens, honestly. I don't know. There's no trick that I can think of to make things look at you. It just happens. I don't know. It's awesome. And I like how some of the background kind of ran into them. They kind of run together. There's very little. This was another cloudy day where we ended up with sunshine because it's a sunny world. It could be a really sad painting, I think, without the light. It could have been, because it's kind of sad. I mean, they don't look very happy.
No, they look like cows.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I like my house to be happy. But yeah, I think that the color kind of, the pinks, you know, kind of happied it up, and then the sunlight. But yeah, it's a nice painting. And it's low price because sometimes I love to just throw a painting in a show that's very low price that somebody just says, oh wow, I could get that. And yeah, it's good.
And then on the other wall, Sonja, we have.
Oh, we did that
We
one
did
first.
We did
this,
that
yep,
one. Oh, sorry.
yep.
Oh, Barbara has too much wine,
Oh,
right?
cut me off.
Sorry. All right, let's see. Then over here, these are fairly new paintings. That one's probably a little bit newer, but yeah. This is Feet in a Hayfield, Head in the Clouds. And this was from a reference photo of a bunch of young cattle. I think we were on the Good Luck Road by Lodgegrass, and this one just stuck out. I just loved the expression of their face.
Logo weed.
Yeah, yes. So I'd painted it a couple of times over the years, just trying to get that expression in this one heifer, and I don't know, I think I got her, but yeah, it was what I didn't have is I always tried it as a long painting with several of the animals and not just the one. I like making her solo and letting her fly off the edges and let her be wild. This was fun. This was me in my element here. This was just really fun. I don't think my husband likes this one, right?
Well, I think the modern approach to that is very good. It's very contemporary, and I love your new frames.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I am glad. That is good.
Can you see the chat, Tayshaun?
Yes.
Can you read him?
People are chatting. There's people watching this. This is embarrassing.
I have one comment from Lori Walters Clark.
Aw.
I'm enjoying the opportunity to listen without a group of people in the way. Sonja, your explanations of your thoughts as you're painting. Sonja, your explanations of your thoughts as you're painting is wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Lori. She's so we have a good little community. This is Doe Eyes and Fall Sky.
And it's Sonja Caywood at her best Gustav Klimt impression out of Dayton.
Yeah, it's, oh, thank you. It's,
Out of her studio window, probably.
yes. If you follow my Facebook page, or Instagram, that I always have deer looking in my studio because I have a bird feeder right outside my studio. And there are always deer all the time looking in the windows. And yeah, no, actually this one was not there. Peeping Tom was out the studio, yeah, I remember where this one was. Anyway, this was a lot of fun. And a little tidbit on this, Trader Joe's is actually doing cards of this.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're gourmet greeting
And you'll sell it to the Brinton for half price.
Right. I think the price just went up. No?
Oh,
Yeah, I got laid off.
Trader Joe's, damn. How do we compete with that?
Good thing
But it was funny when Ken mentioned the Gustav Klimt because I've always wanted to put gold leaf on things. I love
Do it.
love the way. If we sold some of these paintings, I could get some gold leaf.
And silver.
Yes. But yeah, she was fun.
You can start out with metal leaf, it's cheap.
I could, yeah. Yes. I thought it was finished, and I didn't have any of this stuff going on. And then all of a sudden I was looking at it thinking, wait a minute, there's something, and then it just hit me, I have to put the sky in front of her. So I just threw those shapes on in front, and that just did it. She is rather lovely. I never used to say that about my art. I always used to say, oh, it's not good, it's not great, but some things I've learned. Mara Shasty taught me to find things in your art that you love, because it's really a gift to be able to get to do this, and it is. And I can see the places that just little pieces. She taught me that to really appreciate what's going on here, because I don't see it as something that I do really per se. Charles Russell said to have talent is no credit to its owner, and I totally believe that. I think it's a God-given gift. And when I'm painting, it's not like I'm really, really thinking, oh, this has to be there, At the end, it was just like this divine thing where it was like, oh, threw the sky on top of her, and that, to me, it helped. I like it.
I do too.
Well, it transforms it
Yeah.
from just being a wildlife painting into being much more modern,
Exactly, yeah.
which I have.
And then
Yes.
I love this, where you just left some of the canvas
Yeah,
untouched.
that is unusual.
And I really needed the pink, and you said Trader Joe's was gonna use it.
Now it's
Yeah.
back.
Now I fell in love with pink.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's funny because usually it's a little bit of pink showing through, and then this one it's a little bit of canvas showing through and a whole lot of pink. It works though.
Which is delightful. I love that about it.
Thank you. I really like it. I do. It's a good one. All right, shall we go on? Oh, which way?
You can go clockwise.
Clockwise, let's see, okay.
She's an artist.
I have to think. Wait, is this right? No, because when I get turned around. Okay, let's see, a neon knowing, and this was probably around November that I painted that. Yes, it was. These sheep, they were over the mountain, I think, and they weren't really this color, obviously. Neither was he. It's just a lot of fun. I don't know, I love to throw some colors together and see what happens, you know? I rarely paint Angus cows because they're just, I mean, they end up totally looking blue and purple because there's very little you can do besides turning them into color, in my book, you know? And the same with the dark bison. It would have been boring to just put a big silhouette of dark or to have it all brown. But I thought it was just, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun to throw color in there and see. And then it was really hard, actually, because this is a weird assortment of colors. They actually, looking at it, it doesn't really go together.
The bison works very well.
Yes.
You think?
He really does.
Yeah, somehow, I don't,
Now,
this is an obvious example of how I just paint without thinking, because if I were thinking, I would not put those two colors by each other, but somehow they do work. And I remember having a really hard time trying to find a background that would play against that. So I had to keep some of these pinks in places and a little bit of the blues, and there's a little bit of green here to just keep those colors kind of flowing around. This one had a companion piece that was a frontal bison, and I sold in Red Lodge this year. I think it went to the East Coast. And that one I liked a little bit more, but this one's got a lot more sophistication, just in the, I don't know, playful sophistication maybe, I don't know.
Sonia, I noticed this area being very impressionistic. You want to talk a little bit about how you got there with that?
No idea. A little bit of shadow underneath there. We were just talking about I don't know. I know Kathy Saban always taught us that things need a place in a space, you know, and so you had to have something to ground him down. Man, I didn't even put any feet on. It's not that I can't paint feet. Sometimes things aren't important. Who needs feet?
take her wine away, she's getting me too much.
Yeah, I'm noticing things. You guys have really good light compared to my studio. You know, it's like, wow, I can really see things here. I don't really have much. I don't know. When I do this kind of stuff, it's just a bunch of making marks and shadows and shapes, and I'm not really thinking much, but it is very impressionistic. Yeah, like it. I like it more in here actually than I did it at home.
Because of the lights on it, or?
Yeah,
Good light is
yeah, it's
everything.
good light is everything. This one was fun. This was Transformation, another fun deer painting. And he's actually on the website with just this periwinkle background. It was pretty much, there was a few squirrels, but it was mostly just a blue background. And you can see that same color echoed in him. It's very plain. And I called him Peeping Tom because he was one of the deer that looked in my studio window. But I didn't title him that until I decided what was it? I painted something with aspens. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I'd redone something and I thought, well, I'm gonna just add this to them. So luckily I used Gambar varnish, and you can take it off with mineral spirits. It's a great varnish. It doesn't stink and it's removable. So I removed the varnish and threw in these just ideas of trees. I think it was at the same time I was doing that deer in there. It was after I put the sky over the deer. I thought, well, I'm gonna do aspens, and then the aspens kind of came over the deer like the sky did on the other doe painting we just looked at. That's what it was.
No, that's brilliant. I mean, those two paintings are my favorite because of the sophistication that's happening.
Yeah, just letting go of that idea that this has to be a deer and there has to be straight edges and it has to, that's what I'm learning lately, is that I can let go of those, what is and what should be. Growing up, I don't know, you just wanted things to be right, you know, when you're young as an artist, you want things to look like a photo or to look really right. And I think there comes a time in your life where you realize that, well, like Kathy Saban said, interesting is better than correct, you know. So putting these little lines in here gave him some interest, you know. It makes you look and see what's going on in here. There's like a Morse code going on. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, it transfers it from just the ordinary into that much more modern, contemporary,
Definitely. Gives it a story.
abstraction going on.
Pushes the perspective.
It does.
So that's nice.
Yes, and then I added a mood. I used to
Yes.
put circles in all my things, and I don't do it much anymore because it became a thing.
I love that.
Yeah, I like it. It's lovely.
It is nice. If you watch Henry Farney's exhibit upstairs, you see a lot of great usage.
Yes.
I told her that.
We were talking about that moon lighting up the face. It's a beautiful show, and I feel so privileged that I got to see it. I'm sorry, everybody, that we saw the Ted Waddell show.
Did you have any questions, Tasha?
No questions yet, but I have a comment from Kendra.
Buyers, that's what I'm
I have a comment from Kendra Heimbuck. This painting is fantastic.
Aw.
Love your use of abstraction. You nailed it.
Oh, she's just trying to get
Kendra.
money there for sake.
Yeah. Well, yes, and the
Hi,
Sage
Kendra.
is giving away a painting that I donated to him last week or something. For their members, yeah. It's been good. All right, now, let's see. Tabitha Intrepid, she was obviously painted at the same time I did that longhorn with those same colors. I had this turquoise phase. Let's see. She was, I don't know. She's not one from the yard. We did have a moose in our yard last year, or right behind our fence actually, but not her. She was just a moose from the mountain. I don't know. I liked the extreme temperature changes with this. How we have this hot, bright yellow, and then these cool blues, and then the purple's kind of in between. No.
Those yellows are almost electric.
They are. Yes. I don't know. And it was another one of those where I had a reference photo I'd taken. I think she was standing in the water and she had a baby calf with her, but I just wanted to focus on her.
What inspired the calligraphy over in the shop?
It needed it. It was just boring.
No, it's brilliant.
That's a bad habit. When I'm not thinking, that's what I'm doing. Is these weird little. I don't know, but I'm starting to embrace it instead of like.
Go with it, run with
That's
it.
not right. Yeah.
I think this animal has an almost religious aura.
You think? It's good to hear you.
Hi, Beverly.
It reminds me of some of those paintings around the 1600s of, say, John the Baptist, or
Oh, wow.
because it has that kind of glow.
It does.
Ah.
And then those paintings of martyrs that had faces not unlike that.
Yes, I see it. Oh, Oh,
What
I
I
wish you were
really-
here, Beverly.
I wish I were too. But what I really like to say is the paintings with the deer are, of course, my favorites.
You and
but-
Ken.
But part of
Oh.
what makes them so interesting, I think, is those vertical streams of texture. They look very digital. And I think that's what makes it look very contemporary.
You're right. I see that, especially.
I know
with
the
this
old
thing.
digital artist comes out in Beverly.
Exactly. Fun. Boy. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Oh!
Sorry, that was Chocho-san. Quiet.
Okay, this is Summer Love, and it's actually the oldest painting in the show. I believe it's from 2017, might be. And it originally had green grass, because it was spring, it's a baby. This is one of the Delap longhorns from out by Decker. And I just love the dark background. I love painting the longhorns, as I said, because I can get these colors, just play with these weird colors that you would never see on a cow in real life. But I hadn't noticed this issue here until Ken just pointed it out. It's funny that you don't, you know, like you paint things and you don't really think about little things, but yeah, I need to take my varnish off right here and define that little leg.
I have Linda.
You're talking
Carey.
now. They're hearing me talk now.
Hi, Sonja.
Hi,
It's Linda.
how are you? It's good
Good.
to hear your voice.
I just wanted to say how nice your show is. And I love
Thank
it
you.
here.
No, thanks so much. Oh, it's good. I'm glad you came.
I am too, virtually. Wish I could be there in person.
I know it. I know it. This is way easier than driving 100 miles, though.
I know. But I'm going to visit soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Say hi to Willie for me.
I will do that. Say hi to Bob.
Okay, will do. Bye-bye.
Bye. So on this one, at the time I painted it, I really wanted to put golden grass in it because I knew it just needed a light, you know, something to reflect some of this, you know, bring it out. But
Maybe they capped in the fall.
well, see, it was spring. This is
You're-
Wyoming.
I know, but they have in the fall.
I know. Well, I wanted to do that, but in my head I knew, no, spring, no, gotta have, no. So I left it green, and it went to Cowgirl Up one year and didn't sell, and it sat around and went to some galleries, and I just wanted to paint. So finally this year I took the varnish up and did the yellow and loved it, and totally loved it. But now I don't love it anymore because I want to fix it.
Can't kill it or
But when I did love it,
it's gonna be better, just.
yes, when I fixed it and I loved the grass, I jumped the price on it. So it's like, oh, I don't like this now. So when I fix this leg, yeah,
Oh, no.
it's gonna go up. No, I love the feeling on this. It wouldn't hurt my feelings never to sell this, because I just really love this painting. But yeah, I do. I love the expression, and I love the
Your
way
husband
it's
just fainted.
painted.
No, I have one of hers actually.
Yes, I did give him one. Yeah, it's a nice one. I have, well, up until recently, I have two paintings of mine in our house now, but at the time, I didn't have any of my art hanging in our home, and gave one to him. But the last time I gave him a painting, he sold it.
Needed the money.
This is probably my favorite in the show, Gladys and the Horse. And this was another one of that same paintings and messing with. And he was, you can kind of see, becomes Like there's a knee, see that? And then there's another leg right here. There's his nose. He's there. There is a horse. No, that's not an eye. I think. But yeah.
Give me your wine.
There is a horse in this picture. And great, but going on with it, and I realized over the last didn't want to sell something I thought was let it get out of the studio. You know, real this picture. Cow, yeah. Take some pictures. I love these face. Like, she was very quick. I don't know why there was that angle there. I got qualities of it. I don't know. This one to me is really special. I like it. I like the little bits of the other painting that are still there. I love this. And it would be like me to cover that up. So I was really proud of myself for not covering that. I covered up a lot of good things, but I kept that. And I love the darks in the bottom, and there's just something about the nose, how it's just barely laid in there, but it worked. And
It has a strong composition. It really does.
Yeah. She's almost, she's coming off everywhere. I love this turquoise that we kind of kept, how the background came into this part. I don't know, I like her a lot.
She's a beauty. I agree with you. I think that's one of your strongest pieces of
Do
the show.
you? Nice. I'm glad to hear you say that. Yep. I think the deer in this one, I really like her. But yes, Gladys and the horse, because the horse is still there, you know. I always think about our lives and how we change. I don't know how we can adapt the situation based on what's going on, and I do that a lot in my art, and I think about how we could take our stories that we've got in our past, our histories, and keep building on them, and we can still see them, our memories and stuff, they're still there, but we turn it into something new. She's good. And that is the show.
Thank you so much, Sonja.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm glad we did this. This was fun. We could have canceled out, but it was good.
It was
Just jump
good.
in and do something new.
Well, and if things work out, we may be open May 15th.
Oh, that's
So
right. Yes.
You, depending upon how a meeting goes, you
And
may all be able to walk into the gallery on the
Oh,
15th.
that'd be good.
Sonja's show is up.
Provided you keep your mask on and social distance. Forgive us for not wearing masks on that.
Sonja's show is up through May 31st. So it's still here, and please call and inquire if you're interested in a piece. We're here. So thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks for supporting the Brinton.